So Cinderella at Colour House Theatre is a 1 hour show suitable for all children aged 3 and up, right up to 100. All new writing, all new songs, written by Linda Kirby, who's a councillor for Merton. So it's all local talent. We're a 4-hand show. We've got 4 actors playing all the roles in the show. It's just been absolutely great fun. It's, been absolutely brilliant because this is like my first professional show, and everyone's been so welcoming.
Yeah. So I see from the post that you play the fairy godmother. Do you play any other roles?
I'm one of the ugly sisters, and I'm also Bob, who is like the Dandini of our show. It's very, very interesting I think it's good multi-rolling experience, and it's just so much fun, and to watch the kids interacting with the different characters.
I mean, excuse the pun, but it's a magical role being fairy godmother, because the children just always love the fairy godmother.
They all come to life. You come on and they just, oh, it's the fairy godmother. And my opening line is, well, I bet you know who I am, don't you? And the kids' faces just light up, and it's such a magical experience to bring that to the local community.
And because it's such a small cast, does that bring you closer together?
Yeah, everyone's so tight-knit. I mean, we all have to help each other with costume changes. Obviously, there's less like backstage staff because we've reduced staff due to COVID. I'm working the whole hour. If you can imagine me like a little duck with my feet paddling under the water. Backstage, I'm just, off with the fairy godmother dress, on with the ugly sister, into Bob's waistcoat.
Just as long as you remember who you are. I suppose you can look down at your costume.
I could come on as Bob, with a loud, common, Essex accent from my ugly sister, but I don't think Prince Charming would like that very much.
It's a lovely little theatre, the Colour House, as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful because although it's a smaller audience, I think that allows certainly for the pantomime feeling, you get so much audience participation. The kids are, quite near to you, as in, you can play to the audience individually. So I think it's just more intimate than, obviously it's going to be more intimate than being in a big theatre where you haven't got the personalisation to the audience. Because we've had such a range of audiences from small, we've had like all the way down on the Saturday mornings. We have one performance where we only had 10 people, but then we get full houses. And every audience is so different, which makes the show so much different. Each performance is unique.
And because of the ages that it's designed to appeal to, which is, as you say, 3 and up, I suppose there's some part of it is training, is teaching the youngsters how to deal with a pantomime.
We've had so many children where it's their first ever show, and it's just lovely to get the parents' feedback at the end of the show, because we do birthday parties at the shows as well. Like after the show, we'll be children's entertainers at birthday parties, and then we get to talk to the parents, obviously, and they'll say, oh, this is my daughter's first ever show and she loved it. We didn't expect her to sit through it, but she was just so drawn into the story and just enjoyed, like, once she learned that she had to say, he's behind you, and it was just like teaching the little kids to, how to have fun in the theatre.
Now, it's only on at weekends at the moment. It's going to be on all week in the run-up to Christmas. But it's quite a punishing schedule because you do 5 performances on a weekend.
They usually run sort of an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, depending on the audience, obviously. Because if you get more audience interaction, it goes on slightly longer. But then we only get like 45 minutes between shows. Yeah, I might get a sip of water and a biscuit between, but I never get to sit down.
And you can't actually go home.
Just being in Pantoland.
Yeah, you're at the theatre all day, whether you like it or not.
It's lovely, though. It's just like being immersed into this magical world outside of the monotonous day-to-day politics of the last 2 years.
Yes, because you mentioned that this is your professional debut, which was somewhat delayed because life took over, didn't it? Because I spoke to you back in February, and at the time you were organising a cabaret, an online cabaret, to raise money for acting for others. First of all, how well did that go?
Well, we raised about £500, which,
Wow.
was better than I expected, because obviously I was only a small YouTube channel, and it was a really good response. Yeah, it was brilliant just to support a charity that I felt so close to.
And then very soon after that, you took seriously ill.
Yeah, I think it was 2 days after I spoke to you, I was admitted to hospital with gastroenteritis. And we just thought I'd be like put on IVF fluids, for a night or something. And actually I ended up in intensive care with septic shock, heart failure, lung failure, kidney failure. I mean, you can laugh at it now, but I was in a coma for a week.
Mm.
And I got out of hospital a month later. Spent the summer retraining my voice because obviously the ventilator messed that up. Learning to walk again, everything. The things you don't think about and you take for granted. Yeah.
I mean, there must have been points in those months where you thought, "Well, that's it. My dreams are over. I'm not going to be what I've trained all this time for."
I don't remember very well when I was admitted to intensive care, but apparently the last thing I said to the nurse before they put the ventilator in was, "But is this going to damage my vocal cords?" And she said, "Let's let the speech and language therapist think about that when you wake up."
Mhm.
And they were so positive in intensive care. I can't fault the staff there. They were brilliant. But yeah, it was when I woke up and I couldn't move at all because obviously your muscles deteriorate when you're in the coma, and I couldn't even lift a finger. And I was just crying to the physiotherapist. "I'm a professional dancer. I'm never going to dance
Mhm.
again." And there was this brilliant physio. It was just, "You are going to dance. You will be walking again in a month." And he was just so calming and so, I don't know what I'd have done without him, to be honest.
Having come through all that, and well done for coming through that, you must
Thank you.
really value what's happening for you now.
Oh, absolutely. I think you take everything in life for granted. It sounds cliche, but when you've been through that near to death, that your parents are called in to say goodbye to you one night and you're not expected to survive. And obviously, in COVID times, you couldn't have visitors. They were called in for a 15-minute window. And my mum said, "Well, I was actually hoping you'd go in that 15 minutes so that we'd get to say goodbye."
Mhm.
You come out the other side of that and you value everything. Even you see leaves on the trees and you appreciate the colours. And so to get this role now and to actually be performing, I mean, I love working with children and animals anyway. So if I work with children and I see children's faces lighting up at what I'm doing, I think that is the most rewarding role that I could possibly have. You
Well,
made
you
me emotional now.
certainly deserve it. And for how long can we see you at the Colour House now?
So, COVID allowing, we're on every weekend until January the 9th. And as you've already mentioned, we're on Monday to Friday before Christmas. So Monday the 20th to Friday the 24th. Performances are at 11 a.m., 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays, and on the weekdays, 12 p.m. and 2 p.m.
Desirée, enjoy every minute of it. Merry Christmas and a very happy New Year to you.
And the same to you, Ian. Thank you.